Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome to the E-Show, presented by the Penalty Box Foundation. The Foundation's mission centers around their daily motto, "We take care of our own," as they help out all of those within the hockey community who have experienced a catastrophic event. Learn more at penaltyboxfoundation.org. What's up? My name is Neil Ravin. This is episode number 56 of the E-Show, and on this week's episode, I chat with Andrew Burke, the head coach at Alvernia University in Reading, Pennsylvania. Alvernia will be launching their NCAA Division III program in the fall of 2022, and Burke is well underway with the planning process. Also on the podcast this week, we continue highlighting teams to watch in the battle for playoff positioning, and finally, as we do every week, we provide the latest update on the E-Crew Fantasy Challenge. I'm joined now by Andrew Burke, the head ice hockey coach at Alvernia University. How's it going, Coach?
Good. How are you, Neil?
Good. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I know we had talked about this. We wanted to kind of time it up with the announcement of your new program. How excited are you to get started in the fall of 2022?
Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit. Obviously, with COVID, moving stuff out with canceling seasons, and me not coaching this year, not being able to get in the rinks and watch potential student athletes. And then given the opportunity to take over a program here at Alvernia University, to me I'm grateful for it. I'm excited for it. A lot of great things happen here at Alvernia. But for me as a coach, I can't wait to get back behind the bench or even back into a rink and just watch a hockey game and recruit potential student athletes. So super excited.
So let's talk about the road to Alvernia, because I'm sure a lot of EHL players and fans will recognize your name from your days at Brynathan, a program that you brought from the club level to the NCAA Division III level, just like you're going to do at Alvernia. Let's talk about Brynathan. What was the biggest challenge?
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was getting the name out there. You're trying to, when you're building a program, you're trying to explain, hey, you're showing locker room spaces that could be party rooms or just empty spaces, and you're trying to showing a vision to, you're trying to sell a vision to the potential student athletes where you're going up against schools that have history. So what we're trying to show is you can come in and make history and build tradition, and then on top of it is you're trying to sell a little bit of yourself, of what you can do for the potential student athlete accompanied by the university that you're at. So that was some of the challenge, and getting the name of if it's Alvernia or Brynathan, getting the name of the school out there, so the hockey world recognizes it. And that's some of the biggest challenges, because being here in the game for so long, there's some schools out there that have been around for a long time and everyone kind of knows those names. So we're the new kids on the block, and we're just trying to take some space up.
I think that's such a good transition, because I didn't intend for this to happen, but with your episode of the podcast, the last three have been Rivier University, Albertus Madness, and now Alvernia. 3 new programs coming in at the Division III level. Why do you think Division III is growing the way it is?
Yeah, I think the game itself is growing. You look at junior hockey, the youth level. There's more teams. I mean, I played for the Philadelphia Little Flyers under Coach Wayne Sands back in 2004, 2005, when it was actually the Atlantic Junior Hockey League. Yep. And I think I can remember between us and back then it was the Eastern Junior Hockey League, I think there was maybe 25 junior teams on the East Coast. And
Same.
Even one of the coaches in the league, Chris Sorella, he was in Walpole when he was a young guy. Probably still yelling at all the refs still back then now, but it's grown so much that you have more junior teams available, you have more AAA programs, you have more youth programs. Now you have prep schools having split seasons with teams under them that have full seasons, and the game itself is growing, and I think that kind of all filters up to the college level. And I think for us, it's an opportunity for schools to grow and on enrollment, but also add more offerings for the student athlete experience and the student experience in itself. Just to give you an example, at Alvernia, there's an existing club team here, and I'll be building the varsity team from the ground up. But I've kind of perused around their athletic websites, and even our women's team that was in the UCHC NCAA Division III last year, they drew 700 to 1,000 fans in the body zone right there. And it's you see that hockey can add so much opportunities and different things and excitement around a campus. So that's why I think you see a lot of Division III schools adding it. It's an experience for not only the student athletes, but for the entire community of a college.
And what I love to say when I go on the road is there's actually more of an opportunity to play Division II and Division III college hockey than there is Division I, by almost about 30 teams at this point. But you brought up an interesting point there. For those that don't know, the EHL used to be the Atlantic Junior Hockey League, which is a league that you played in. Then you moved on to play at UMass Boston, where it's a Division III program that obviously our league is very familiar with as well. But for your path, you've been in the shoes of a lot of these junior hockey players that are in the EHL right now. And then you played, like I said, Division III hockey. Does that help you relate to your players?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I played under Peter Belisle, and I think what Belisle has done there, and, now he's been there for 15 years. I can remember, Pete driving down with Jeff Pellegrini to UConn for the AJ All-Star game and talking to us. And he was handing out packets, and I'm sure, he'll tell you if he couldn't play for UMass Boston back then, he couldn't play Division III hockey because he took a program. And, now you look at it, what he did with it, it's amazing. You know what I mean? They're a perennial powerhouse, and he's done a great, wonderful job there. But, I graduated from University of Massachusetts Boston in 2012, and I took my first coaching job in August of that year. And by December, I was the head coach of that program. So I wasn't even 6 months out of school when I was running the program. And then 3 short years later, we were transitioned to Division III NCAA. So for me, it's a lot of, I can relate because I know I've been coaching for 9 years, but I just was in their shoes not too long ago. And I understand a little bit of what it feels like to go through and feel the pressure of being an age out as a 20-year-old, or, that 19-year-old that may have an offer, but has one more year left. Maybe wants to go chase that Division I dream. So I can speak to both sides of the fence and understanding it, and, talk about, student loans and scholarships and what life is immediately after you get out of school and what it feels like. Whereas I think it's very good to be able to relate to kids like that. And, my philosophy on recruiting is I try to learn each student athlete and potential recruit we have as a person, and what their needs and wants are, and what their future goals are, and what their past hockey career was like. And, I think it's a good thing. And it's more of, for me, it's building a relationship with each student athlete that we could potentially bring here to Alvernia. So it definitely helps for sure.
And you bring up Peter Belisle. Obviously, our league still plays UMass Boston. Didn't get to this season, but has the past few years in an all-star game. Not to put you on the spot here, but are there any good Coach Belisle stories? Because he has one of the best personalities in all of Division III.
Oh boy. How long do we have? Great. One of the great stories is, we were going, I'll give you 2 quick stories. We were freshmen, and he built the program. Like I said, my incoming class had 15 kids in it. And I remember we were going up, and we were going to play a school up in Maine, and we were watching video, and, he gave us this, analogy of how we have to play. And he uses a junkyard dog with one leg that hasn't eaten in a month. And we have to attack the game like that. And everyone was just sitting there and was like, well, if he's in the junkyard and he hasn't eaten in a month and he has one leg, he's probably not going to make it very long. And then the second story would be, we're getting ready for a big, I think our playoff game, where we're in middle of season, and we're having some playoff or power play woes. And one of our captain was running the power play, and we were running a box and one, and he wanted our defenseman to be wider to kind of spread out the penalty kill so we could open up the middle for some different things. And we're at the rink there at UMass Boston, and we're practicing on the home bench side. Yeah. So he blows it down. He starts going off and screaming, but He's like, I need you guys wider. He gets up on the bench. He gets off the ice, gets up on the bench, walks out behind and then down where the scores box and slamming the boards the entire time, screaming wider. And then like pulls the kid over with him and says, you can stand here. And this is how wide you need to be on the power play, and blows the whistle to start the next drill. And this kid's now on the bench, just standing there. We were like, what is going on here? It was insane. But, Pete's a great guy, and, I've talked to him a lot, and I lean into him a lot for different tips on coaching. Cause he's built programs. He's coached Division I, he played Division I, and, he's just an all around great human being, to be honest with you. And he's taught me so many things about the game and, about life. You know what I mean? It's amazing to be, to call him a friend and call him my former coach and call him a colleague now. It's just, I'm very grateful for that.
Would you say he was a big reason why you got right into coaching after you finished playing?
Yeah, I think so. He was definitely part of it. I think it's, to kind of see his work ethic and to see how he handled taking over a program that was, I'm sure he's told a lot of people when 2 years before he got there, they were 0-25, and the only way he could go was up. And, I looked at that I looked at that and said, man, that's pretty unique for someone to go in there and spearhead that when everyone else was running the other way. And, much like me, I think Pete's a builder. I think he builds and takes on the challenge of building. And, I think one thing I took from him is a philosophy of creating a family. And that's what we were at UMass Boston. That's what I created at Bryn Athyn. And that's the culture we're going to have at Alvernia University, is I guess that junkyard dog with one leg that hasn't eaten for a month, but a family that works hard, that's dedicated to the classroom, that's dedicated to the community, that wants to give it their best. And is, one thing I will say is, it's still at my house today. I'm super proud that I went to UMass Boston, played under Pete Bilal, and I graduated as a UMass Boston alumni. I still have all my stuff in my office at my house. And that's what I want to build, that tradition of bringing a student athlete in that maybe they get into coaching or they get into a different field. And, 5-6 years down the road, they're looking back with their jersey hanging in their office and they can talk about their experience and how I built it at Alvernia. So, Pete's definitely a visionary, and I think that's how I am. And I definitely learned a lot from him, and he's definitely one of my mentors that I look at.
Well, maybe that junkyard dog will be your story before your very first game. But what's interesting that you brought up is how that program has built to what it is now. And you kind of had started to do that with Bryn Athyn, of course. Your last season that you got to play there, the 2019-20, you had won 12 games. It was the first winning season as an NCAA program. Is it disappointing that you weren't able to kind of pick up where you left off, or was there a closure in there for you as that door closed and this door opened?
Yeah, I think it was, for me, I think for me, I was there 9 years. I coached 9 years. Like I said, I was grateful for all the opportunities I learned. So, I left the program and the school in a better place than I found it in my mind. And I think, they're going to go on and do wonderful things. But for me, I looked at the opportunity to kind of grow and move at Alvernia, a bigger school, better academic. For Alvernia, we're a top 100 in the Northeast region for academics, and bigger athletic complex, more support, athletically driven. So I was happy and grateful that the opportunity I had to grow and build at Bryn Athyn and honestly to learn from my mistakes. You know what I mean? I'm going to learn the do's and don'ts of trying to build a program. So this time around, I think I'm a little bit more equipped, and I kind of hit the ground running. And my assistant that I formerly had, I bounce ideas off him all the time. And he's like,
Yep.
You got to relax. You've been in the job a week. There's only so much you can do in a week. And It's Sunday morning at 5 a.m. Why are you texting me? Type of thing. And, for me, it's just exciting. It's kind of a fresher breath of air. And it's just really, really exciting for me.
And this current hockey season that we're in is beyond unique, and there may even still be some carryover into next season. For you guys, you're not starting at the NCAA level till the fall of 2022. While I'm sure you want to play the first game tomorrow, do you at times take a step back and say, by not starting until then, that may benefit us in the long run?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we obviously, coaching is a year-round recruiting thing, but it's, I feel really bad for all the college coaches, the junior guys, the 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, any senior, anybody really right now in this scenario. It's really brutal, to be completely honest with you. So in terms of getting the program up and running, yeah, I think it's a good thing to step back and like I said before, it's one of the things I think I'm going to learn from my first initial build up in Athens to trying to build the program in Alvernia is to be able to have those checkpoints where I can take a step back and maybe take a day and take a breath and say, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing it right. And it's not where I'm just trying to do everything in 9 months or a year. I have 18 months to build it. But I guess really to answer the question, yeah, I'm grateful that I kind of dodged the bullet a little bit here with trying to start something by September and with COVID going on and the uncertainty of, I talked to a kid the other day and he was like, I don't even know if I'll be playing next week, let alone, I can't make my decision for 2 years. So that's a little bit of one of the challenges that we have is we're really looking at 01s and 02s and, of the birth year. But some of them kids are like, listen, I just need to see if I'm going to have practice tomorrow or this afternoon before I can start rolling on applications. So for us, it's a unique thing. We can build the relationships with the kids, but it's at the same time, we're trying to see their side of the fence or their side of the story and be like, okay, we get it. We, with COVID, we have to be very careful, but for me, it's definitely a relief, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little worried about what happens next year if this thing's still around. So, we all hope for the best and hopefully everyone's safe and everyone gets back to normal. We all can get back to rinks and all see each other in person. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with that.
Will Alvernia still be competing at the club level next season?
Correct. Yeah. So that's the plan. They're going to, I think the club program started here in I think 2002. And they'll pretty much stay they have their own coach, their own staff. They will stay in the club league they play in. I don't, off the top of my head, I think it's a Delaware Valley League.
Yep.
So they'll stay there and play there next year. And then the year after, I believe they're going to stay as well. So I think we should have 3 programs on our campus for hockey: our women's NCAA program, our men's NCAA program, and then our club program will stay over on the club side. So it's very exciting. We're going to build that hockey culture of having maybe 90 plus hockey players, whether it be women, NCAA Division III men's or clubs. So the plan is to keep them over there, and we'll build this thing from the ground up. So we'll be building a brand new locker room at our rink, and designing brand new jerseys and all new equipment. So it's very fun and very exciting.
And for all those 01s and 02s, maybe even 03s that you're talking to, that then still have junior eligibility after this season, obviously, I'm sure the key word for yourself is patience, because to get a formal commitment right now for the fall of 22 is probably not unlikely, but a little bit rare.
Yes.
In your conversations, has it come up from any of the players? Have they asked you point blank, do you want me to play juniors again next season or come play for the club program?
Yeah. Every conversation is obviously different. We've had conversations with guys where, for example, we have some guys that are, want to do business and they want to get their 5-year MBA, and they say, hey, you know what, if I can play 1 year at club and still play 4 years of college hockey, but when I graduate from Alvernia University, I get two degrees, I get my bachelor's and my master's.
Yep.
I want to take a hard look at that, and we'll do it. We're working with some kids right now doing that. Some 01s, 02s, have expressed interest and said, hey, I would commit, but do you want me to go? Want me to stay in juniors? And really, if we commit them, it's up to them. We don't, we would love for them to stay on the team that we commit them with, because I think that's you're recruiting with integrity. You're not trying to backdoor another coach. And, if you commit them from their team, keep them there. You know what I mean? They're obviously good enough that they caught your eye on their team now. So for us, it's, each situation is different, but we would absolutely leave it up to the family and the student to say, hey, what do you want to do? But, at the end of the day, I think in a normal year, maybe we would have more kids looking to come for that one extra year to come start school. But I think with COVID, you're going to see a lot of these junior guys that would leave at a 19-year-old year, go back, which I completely understand, because at the end of the day, you really didn't get your fair shake at your junior hockey career if you're just starting this year out as a 19-year-old. So we're sympathetic on both sides of the fence with them. And like I said, that's why we have a year and a half, but it's really about building that relationship with each student athlete.
Makes complete sense. And I brought it up earlier, the steady progression that you kind of had when you were at Bryn Athyn. Now, when you look ahead to Alvernia, do you have goals of that same kind of step-by-step progression? And along those lines, do you have a vision on a conference that you want to eventually see your program go into? And then is the ultimate goal just to win that conference?
Yeah, I think, goal one was getting in and getting everything set up. So I'm there on that. So that's crossed off. I think a short-term goal for us is our athletic director, Bill Stiles, is amazing. Our administration, our leadership is amazing. We've formally have applied to the UCHE. Our women are in the UCHE. So later this spring, I know they're getting ready to start their season. I think in the middle of February. So I'm sure, later on this spring, we should have some news about whether we're accepted or not. But we're hopeful that we'll get in on the UCHE. It's a great league. It's very competitive, high end. I know they had 4 ranked teams in there last year. So, few far between conferences have that in Division III. But for us, it's the same goals I had at Bryn Athyn. It's year one. We want to make playoffs here at Alvernia University. And by year 4, we want to be on the national stage. We want to be in that top 15 to 20 ranked teams in the country. And I think, you look at it and there's teams out there that have started programs and within 2 or 3 years they were ranked and playing in the league championship and in their own conference championships, or they made the NCAA. So I think it's doable if you take the right approach and you have the right culture and you have the right student athletes on your roster. But I think for us, that's the goal is find out later this spring if we get accepted, and then from there, if we are, then our goal is to win our, get in the playoffs and maybe year one try to win a playoff game. So, that's what we tell recruits, and I think it's something that's interesting. You could be the first program here to win a playoff game. You can come in and be the first program you can score the first goal for a university at the Division III level. So, a lot of first and unique opportunities that we have for student athletes.
Well, fingers crossed. I hope that news is good news here shortly into this spring. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I can't wait to see your program take off. I know it seems like it's a long ways away, but the fall of 2022 will be here before we know it. And by being in Pennsylvania, I hope that we can see you March 24th to 28th as well. Right now, the tentative plan for our league is to have our Frozen Finals at Iceline in Westchester. So hopefully right in your backyard, we can make it down to the Frozen Finals.
We'll be there. I'm already there. Might be in the parking lot already. So, yeah, we look forward to it. I hope to see you guys down here and have some great hockey. But I thank you for having me on the podcast. Thank you for everything you do for the EHL and obviously growing the game and getting, players exposures and obviously getting college exposures as well. I think it's a great bridge that you build, and sharing your message is amazing. So thank you for the opportunity to come on.
Thanks again to Andrew Burke for coming on the podcast this week, the head ice hockey coach at Alvernia University, a program that's starting at the Division III level, not this fall, but next fall. As you heard him say, though, that's not a bad thing either with everything else going on. Also, a couple awesome Peter Belisle stories in there from when he played at UMass Boston. But with that, let's bring in the E crew now. Guys, it is crazy to think about. We're already at the end of January.
What the heck? Really?
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
It feels like we've been in this current hockey season for years, right?
Years.
Yes, too long.
No offense. Let me introduce all you first here. It's Jeff Mills, Brittany Hart, and Kyle McKenna. And what I was trying to say to someone this past week, they asked me how's the season going? The generic question, right? And it almost feels
question.
like the season is just a carryover from last year. Like it's a never-ending regular season. Obviously, the records got kind of wiped clean halfway through, but like it feels like it's all just been one season to me. Same to you guys?
For the most part. I mean, we've got some, obviously we have our new moved around divisions and only in-state play. So it is kind of weird being like, oh yeah, how are the 87s versus Avs doing? Oh no, they haven't played yet this year. No showcases. So it's kind of a mixed bag.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it's been two different seasons because the defending champions, the Philadelphia Revolution, are not squaring off against the 87s and the Avalanche and the Rangers and Walpole and all those other teams. So, no, I disagree.
So for those that were kind of confused there for a second, Kyle has dubbed the 2019-20 Revolution as the champions. I'm not sure how the Little Flyers, 87s, Junior Flyers, Wizards, Rangers, Avalanche, and Lumberjacks were all the other teams that were still alive in the playoffs at that time. Feel about that?
R.I.P. Philly.
I mean, that's their problem. It's not mine. So,
but what's funny is though, if I went back and like saw the text messages, like there were a lot of different takes. Like the Wizards actually won 4 playoff games by the time the postseason got canceled last year.
Right.
So Freddie and Corey were like, if we had the most wins in the postseason, then we are the champions.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it kind of works like that, but sure.
Corey said something like that in the locker room after the game the other day when I went up there and we were talking about the playoffs. And I was like, we were talking about you guys on the podcast. This is Wizzy's time. You guys are getting hot. This is your time of year. And he brought something up about like, hey, we won the most playoff games last year. Him and Captain Jack were talking about it.
Captain Jack.
So that was one. And then Mark Catchon with the Little Flyers said, we won the most recent game.
Of course Mark has to.
Because the season got canceled on that day that they won a game against Maryland, right? So
leave it to all of our coaches to have their cases.
Yeah,
well, we played the last minute on the ice.
And it's like, well, Jeff, you'll remember this because the NHL kind of paused their season, right? Yep. And for a little while there was an audience that believed like they weren't coming back. Right. Do you remember this? And by rule in the NHL, if you don't finish the season, it goes to the team that had the most points, but when it was canceled.
For the President's Trophy, not.
But there was the discussion about if you just make them the Stanley Cup champion also, which would have been the Boston Bruins. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was like
I wouldn't have wanted that either.
No, you wouldn't want it anyways. But I feel to me it feels like with some of the way the top teams are still the top teams this year, while they're different, it feels like things have kind of carried over a little bit from last season into this season. But with that, Jeff mentioned the new divisions. Let's start making our way around all those new divisions and around the E-Show.
It's time for this week's segment of Around the E-Show.
And Around the E-Show is brought to you by the Junior Hockey Podcast, your home for junior hockey news, knowledge, and nonsense. Check them out at tjhpodcast.com.
I am not going to waste all of our time debating which division is the toughest this week.
It's like a new weekly segment.
It's so fun. And then me and Neil were going back and forth the other day when I was at the gym and I was texting you about, I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. I was just sitting there and like pondering it at like weird times. I'm like, it can change week to week. I see your case last week. You make the case for that. Seaco's still on a bender. Or are they up to 6-game winning streak now?
6. Wizards are at 5.
Wizards are at 5.
Is that good?
Wizards.
What's up?
They're 3 games under 500 now. 13-16, I believe. 13-16-1.
87s are at 9.
9.
Yeah. Oof.
I had a very crazy math situation this week. So
welcome to the club.
I still keep in close contact with Mark Kumpel, former director of hockey operations for the league,
Cubs.
who's doing some youth work now with what's called the EHF, Eastern Hockey Federation. So that's midgets on down to I think even like U8. It's youth time like on steroids.
Grassroots.
And so what we have to do for some of our divisions this year, obviously, if you play a unbalanced number of games, that team plays 38, that team plays 36. When all is said and done, you go based off of a points percentage, which we've used in the past for different things here and there. And it's simply the number of points that you earned out of how many you could have possibly earned. that you divide that out, and there's your percentage. To me, it's a better percentage than winning percentage because you still get some recognition for earning a point in overtime or a shootout. And Mark wanted to use the same thing for the EHF. And they said, we don't love that formula. We actually like ties divided by 2 plus your wins, that divided by 2 in this. And I was like, what did you just say to me?
That's a popsicle headache.
And he goes, what I'm confused about is when we were growing up, they tell you to put like each part of the formula in parentheses and then figure out the sum and then divide. I go, Mark, let's just do the whole thing out. Long story short, the numbers equal out exactly the same as our points percentage, right? You can, if I take the 87s and I do the EHF formula or the EHL formula, while one took 8 other steps to get there, they're the same exact thing, right? So when Mark figures that out, he screams into the phone. Like, he's like, oh my God. And I was like, did I make your day? He goes, yes, you did. Thank you. And he hung up. But it was this, I thought it was a hysterical story because it's something that like, I'm going to have to start doing more of here. And it's not like in a normal year, it's just so easy to look at the standings and see who has the most points and they win. Mm-hmm. It's so much easier. It's so much easier than what I wanted to bring up to you guys right now. We're dropping this on Thursday, the 28th. If Maryland loses today, we have a division champion in the 87s.
That's
crazy.
true.
So when you go to
wild.
When you go to the standings, right, you have to factor in that right now each team is scheduled to play 38 games, right? So 38 times 2 is 76. So you can earn a maximum 76 points if you were to go 38-0, which obviously no one's going to do that this year, but we may have some guys get close. For the 87, say they only get to 50. So now they're getting 50 out of 76. You then have to go to the Maryland record and see what their max possible points to get to is. And right now, if they win out, they can get to 52. If they lose tomorrow without getting a point, the max they can get to is 50. The 87s have the head-to-head. Tomorrow, we may have a division champion.
Whoa, why did we get a trash Maryland?
At the end of January, too. Wow.
What am I trying
to trash in Maryland?
Playoffs are what? March is right around the corner. February is a short month, right?
Honestly, I was looking at it or is browsing around it today. The last regular season game for most people is February 28th, which is a month from the day this is going out. So that's the team.
Yeah, it's
so maybe a division champion at this time is not that uncommon.
Well, remember when we were in PA? Haha,
yes.
we going back. But remember when we were in PA and it was like the Bobcats Avalanche thing and like it was in 90 years before anybody else. And we were like, the Avalanche, or I don't even remember what it was, but they like won 9 centuries before anybody else did. And we're like, sick. Like
that was
the good old New York Bobcats Royals, Long Island Royals, the 19 team names.
Like, oh my God.
That was always fun.
They own.
That seems like another time ago.
Yes,
wow.
They own 2 franchises, and you know what would make so much more sense, Jeff? The Royal Bobcats.
Yeah,
not the Bobcats Royals.
Bobcats Royals, but that's what they were called, I think. Yes, so everyone look at the line charts, and I was like, and today we got the Boston Junior Rangers versus the New York Bobcat Long Island Royal team. You're like,
squared.
What? It's like so much of a mouthful. Oh.
But obviously we're starting down south, and I only say that Maryland could lose to Pro Tech because if you recap their season series, it's insane, right?
Yeah,
one go game. That's what my Brits Commit said today. You guys don't know who Brits Commits is on Friday, but he's like every game we played with Pro Tech is like a 1 goal game. Like watch tomorrow, it will be tomorrow because it's Wednesday when we're recording, whatever, will be a 1 goal game. And I was like, all right, word.
Here's the recap. Team Maryland won the first 5 contests, right? But 6-5 in a shootout, 3-2 in regulation, 4-3 shootout, 4-3 overtime, 6-5 overtime, then lost 4-3 in a shootout. Like
tight.
If these teams match up in the playoffs, like it's probably going to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right. TMD, big grab at least a point team.
And the
Well,
Protect McKenna's, they love overtime too. It's those
Yes.
cell teams.
So-
They must have a
Love
record,
overtime.
Neil. That's something we'll talk about another time.
Holy
But
heck.
Protec must have the record.
For overtime
Most-
losses.
Yes.
No. The
Overtime
most
games.
overtime games in EHL history. They have to.
Well, how many have they won? So they have 5 overtime
And
losses.
there's
How many
nothing to
games have
laugh.
they
I
won?
mean, look, this is an inaugural team. Like, this is a new team. There's nothing to
Right.
laugh about or shake your head at. I'm just saying
No.
it's got to be a record. They have at least 7 overtime losses, including the shootout. So you got to figure they've had 9 overtime games
Sheesh.
Not bad.
in 23, 24 contests. I mean,
I was gonna say they're 9-9-5 as of today.
so 5 overtime losses, including at least 2 overtime wins, at least.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of extra hockey. And that'll burn you out by the end of the year, but they're still
Different roster.
yeah. That's
Catch
true,
your
too.
free game on Hockey TV, folks. Get your free hockey, overtime hockey, Protect Ducks.
I thought
I'd
you were
like to get-
teasing. I thought you were teasing the free hockey TV game of the week there for a second.
No, I have no idea what the. I could not even tell you what the free game of the week is. I have no clue.
We all know how much Brittany loves her sponsor reads, so
Well,
Oh
the
my
free
God,
game of the week
stop.
this week in the EHL is 87s versus Applecore on Friday, because if Maryland does get at least a point on Thursday, then
They're alive.
the 87s control their own destiny still, right? Once the 87s play, if they win, it's over.
yep.
But that's
Oh my
only
God!
for
Wait, as you just said, sorry, I had to shout my sis out. As you said that, I look at Alyssa's story and she's wearing her 87 sweatshirt, and I was wearing my 87 sweatshirt today, and me and Alyssa were twinning. So goals. Bye. Continue.
that's only for the 1 seed, right?
She's gonna love that. Hey, girly.
There's a second bye down south as well.
Yeah, I talked about that too in my Brits commits. Guys, come on, plug Brits commits. Let's go.
Is it Maryland, or is it the Little Flyers, or is it somebody else?
I
Probably little
don't
flyers.
want to give my opinion right now. My God, look at me. Look at me being quiet. This is new, huh? I'm good. I'm good with sharing my opinion for the current moment in time.
We should have
Fritz
had
tuckered
you.
out.
We should have had you ask your interview, which we're not saying his name. You have to.
No,
choose
we
the
can't. I
song.
don't care.
Oh,
no, yeah.
who's
Tonight
on,
Friday.
who's on this week?
We're teasing it. We'll just,
Somebody-
it's a top score.
Someone from TMD for life.
Yes.
I plugged the one with Steph last week during the Wizards broadcast, so I'm sure that.
Oh my God, thank you.
Plugged you
Jeff,
in,
I
Kyle.
also appreciate the shout outs for the young gentleman from the Wizards. I know we're changing subjects here, but
Oh yeah,
got
Keith.
text from Meek Mill saying, "Hey, I got to give it a plug in." For a second, I was like, "Wait, what does that mean?"
Oh my God.
Oh,
You
You're
Yeah,
not
both
old.
people.
You are not old.
Check it
Like,
out.
chill.
pushing 30.
I think everyone on here is.
31.
Neil will be 30 soon.
Meek, I thought you were like 25.
Nope, 31, brother. I'm holding the torch as the elder statesman on this show. No grays in the beard yet, though. All black still, baby.
Sorry to interrupt you too, Senator.
Where were we? Oh, we're talking about TMD and my thing. Yeah, so TMD couldn't get the second. I mean, I did talk about the second round bye with him. I said, what would it mean? And then he, how would it benefit you? Blah, blah, blah. And my member answered the question. So it's not like I
My
didn't talk about
member.
it.
Well, what I
My
wanted,
member.
maybe one way to spin it, you could have said,
You
Your
literally
head-
proved my question, sir.
I know that, but I'm thinking about this now because his head coach has made it to the finals without having that bye.
Correct.
That's a fact.
Last time we were in Providence.
That was Wilkes-Barre, and
Yep.
Mm.
We're teasing a lot. We're giving lots of hints here.
yes, I don't
Which,
think.
Denise played too, right?
Yes.
Archipenko.
He was on that Wilkes-Barre team.
that's right. He was.
Not bad for the rookie.
Good
Yes.
recall. Good recall.
And what's
Good.
funny, Kyle, another thing that I forgot about how late we are on the season. Archipenko is very close to cracking his way inside the top 10 for all-time scorers. Like he's only like a
Oh.
handful of points away. I did not
Seriously.
realize he's actually played 4 years in this league. Two
Wait,
with
so where's his first?
Wilkes-Barre, 2 with
Oh.
Maryland.
Hmm.
But
So
that
He
Well,
just
Wilkes-Barre,
you're-
loves
16.
Josh Fusco. Kid loves Fusco. Like loves him.
Big
Yeah.
old
that-
glass of Joshy Fusco.
yes,
It's his
that
guy.
Wilkes-Barre team, like I think by the time they got to the finals, they were tired by being the only team that didn't have a bye. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that was the reason they finished where they did during that round robin, but I don't think it helped at the same time. So I think that this battle down south is interesting because, while we may say Little Flyers or Maryland, ProTech has a number of games in hand. They can get hot the same way. I know the Rough Riders have struggled a little bit out of the gates here in the second half, but I think
the Hosses. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I could say
How,
like the Hosses.
how dare I, Jeff?
How dare you? What do you mean? What do you mean, Jeff? I'm the one who made that. Like, okay.
She's getting fired up. She's waking up. Everybody,
here
look
we go.
out.
I'm up. Oh, that was also
obviously they hadn't played all of December because of the shutdowns, and they were missing Colin Bella for a few games, who just came back the last game from an injury and scored. So I wouldn't write them off. And hey, you know what? You're gonna think I may sound crazy. The Apple Corps are gonna play 14 games in February.
The core
every day. February's a short month.
The core like low-key handed Maryland.
Yeah,
I always tend to get myself in tough situations wording wise. Handed them their butts the other day.
Cheeks of the bum.
Yeah, the other day. Like, I don't know. They're both weird teams.
I have to
like we said, there's no bad
to...
teams in this league this year.
No.
The quote-unquote bad teams.
Neil, can I just butt in? I'll say 3 words, and I'll summarize it right now. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah. That's a fact. I also, random thing, I would like to know who's still playing in the league that was on the I almost said Team Maryland, who was on Wilkes-Barre the year in Providence. I can think of 2 people. One of which
Johnny Jackson was on Wilkes-Barre,
but he's not.
But I mean playing like now.
Oh,
besides the GOAT,
3 years.
Besides the GOAT, aka the root of Neil and Kyle's problems, Matt Belinsky.
Belinsky was that year.
Yeah, Matty B was on that team too.
Yes,
absolutely, Matty B was on that team.
Yeah,
heck yeah.
The funniest part about there's Belinsky and Arkapenko. Those are the 2 guys.
That's it.
I think so, right?
I don't know. That's why I said I wonder who it is.
Yeah, it's actually a good point by Brent. Maybe a good trivia question or fun fact.
I'll say it was Johnny Jackson's last year.
Johnny Jackson's Johnny Jackson's somewhere playing somewhere. I don't really know.
Nazareth.
Okay.
Wait, who am I thinking of? That can be sorry, I'll ask this question later on.
Because he was another one that was a Wilkes-Barre Scrantonite, and then Josh Fusco got him back last year at the trade deadline.
I'm thinking of Jackson Olsen. Sorry. Okay. I was going to say he's somewhere.
Do you remember when Wilkes-Barre was to my right, your left in the banquet, and the bus driver's phone just started erupting in the middle of the banquet?
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I literally don't. All I remember is when Neil made me get up and hand things out, and in case you don't know, you guys, no one is going to believe this. You guys are going to all be like, shut up, shut the front door right now. Unless I want it, I hate attention. I don't like it. Unless I am being loud as can be and I want all the attention in the universe, I hate attention. So when Neil makes me get up and prance around the stupid banquet I hated my life, and he made me hand things out, and it was literally the worst experience of my life. Anyways.
Can we go back to what happened when we got into the banquet room for the first time?
I barely. Oh my God, when I took the microphone.
Slamming on the microphone. Test, is this thing working? It's it's blaring through the hotel.
Yep, okay, I'm down.
No, hold on. When was that? That was 2 Marches ago. So that would be.
Honestly, this sounds like a scene from the movie Old School. I don't know why.
It was.
Oh, wait.
Hello? Is this working?
Wait, hold on, guys. Be patient. I feel like
Marissa, Ashley, I love you.
I don't think I can. Hold on, my Wi-Fi's.
Anyways, where are we going with this one, Neil?
We're just talking about the South Division. Oh my God.
This is me. I can't play the sound because I feel like some profane things were said. Wait, this is an explanation of my experience at the banquet.
Yeah,
good times.
Yeah.
Wait, I really
chugging Decides, man.
I'll play this for us later because I don't know what I'm saying in it.
Water is good. Get hydrated. BioSteel.
We were just
promo code.
we were just talking about the South Division. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But Jeff, you brought up an interesting point in there. You said every team's a good team, right? I was texting with Corey Feliti earlier, and let me find the exact text.
Ooh, we're gonna do a live reading of Whizbag Wednesday text messages.
Like, just real quick, Neil, while you're finding that text, just look at the Valley Junior Warriors, for example. Their wins: Avalanche, Express, Wizards. Did they beat the Rangers? Like, if you just look through it, and I was looking through the other day, I don't think they beat the Rangers, but
they did not.
They still knocked off Walpole. They beat the Avalanche. Like, they beat playoff caliber teams, yet they're sitting in last in their division. I mean, the same can be said, like you were just saying about the Apple Corps. You know, they've knocked off a lot of the big teams in the South, but yet they still sit in last in their division. And then if you look at the records this year, the worst records this year are a lot better than our previous years when we've had some, struggling teams that never got close to the wins. Yes, exactly.
Right. And you know what? And that is on improvement.
But back to your text or email from Corey, Neil.
Oh.
Live reading.
Because I texted him and I said, hold on. Got too many
he
texts.
Doesn't even have it right. Yeah, all right, Mr. Popular, zip it.
I said five straight. You're following the Freddie Meyer guidebook to a T. He said, never easy though. All of these games will be dog fights down the stretch.
Well, he's right. As Jeff likes to say.
He's right. And
it's true.
You look at the games that they've won. There's a few close contests in there as well. I don't know how many of those were 1-goal contests, but that we've seen that with a number of teams. We just touched on it with Pro Tech and Team Maryland. In that division, I brought this up this past week. How do you find a way to just keep focused on what you're doing, and then when all is said and done, you find out who your opponent is, and you're either happy about it or you're sad? Because what I don't understand about that division is the teams that have other teams' numbers, the pattern doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, the patterns are sporadic.
Like,
that was a good
Who
SAT
are the
word.
Chiefs?
Yes,
Right, we gotta keep playing that segment.
I mean,
look at the Seahawks this week. They almost knocked off the Rangers 2 days in a row. Those are both
okay. The circumstances were a little bit odd.
They
were. Doesn't matter. A win is a win.
The Seahawks played hard. I gotta say, the Seahawks played the Boston Junior Rangers hard, and you know why they played the Boston Junior Rangers hard? Because it's a respect thing. I'm not taking shots at anyone. When the Boston Junior Rangers score a goal against the Seahawks and celebrate it like it's a playoff game, that's when Boston has respect for a team like the Seahawks.
But I think it's even more than that.
Hey, this is a big game. This is a good team. We just scored on a 5-on-3. We're going to sell you like Ilya Kovalchuk. This is, you know what I mean? Like, this is, and I'm not taking shots at anyone. It's a respect level.
But I think it's even more than that, because I was talking with a few coaches about that this week. This is going to sound like a exaggerated comparison, but it holds true here. When you play the New England Patriots, you get up for that game.
Right.
When you play the 87s, the Rangers, and the Avalanche, you get a little extra in you for that game. These teams,
you want to be that team.
Yeah, these teams are going to start getting that extra fire against them. You look at Seacoast, right? We I don't know if we openly questioned how good they were following 4 straight wins against the Lumberjacks, but they proved just how good they were with a win against the Avalanche.
Well, yeah, they fell off for a minute. They're back though.
Oh, you know what I didn't do this week? Look at Clendenin Stewart's box score. What did he do? I couldn't.
Wait, I don't think the Coast mixed in many games.
They didn't play as much this week. That's kind of the other part.
They played one game. They won 3-2.
Yes, they played Saturday against the Lumberjacks. And,
jacked up.
Everyone's beating everyone up there. ELE.
Yeah. I don't think Stewart had any points in that game, Jeff, so you could sleep easy tonight.
My God.
Was that
I'm sorry, Bonds,
man. Sally, I just hit a home run.
Yeah.
Could have been.
That was a little Tony Romo and Kokomo right there.
So that division, though, it's interesting, right? Because obviously we do feel as a group confident about the Rangers probably holding on to number 1, Express holding on to number 2. Those playoff series after that, the 3-6, the 4-5.
Oh, big.
Oh, those are going to be a mess.
Toss-ups.
Big insert Neil's favorite word here, question marks.
Yep.
Yes.
Those are going to be fun. Those will be fun series to watch and call. And
I mean, you look at it like this, right? Obviously, the Warriors right now are in 7th with 14 points, and they can go on a run here. But you look at the teams above them: Wizards 27 points, Seahawks 27 points, Chiefs 26 points, Railers 24 points. Obviously, we go based off of the points percentage when all is said and done, but they're all going to play roughly the same number of games anyway. So it's going to be right about where things are at. And if the playoffs started today, it's Wizards, Railers, and Seahawks, Chiefs.
Oof.
Yeah,
The Railers,
Dude, the
beat the
Railers
Wizards.
gave
Awesome.
BJR a run for their money, like low key today.
And tune in next week because that could be different since they're all within one game win of leapfrogging the next. So
Yeah.
Neil, that's your team to watch, right? I mean, you've been saying it for a couple of
Which
months
team?
now. It's the Railers,
Yeah, I mean,
oh yeah.
and they've
Especially
improved.
with their new, I won't even try to say the kid's name. Neil, take it away.
Oh,
well,
Coyle
okay, here we go.
Benkoskis?
Bankoskis, and then you can
Bankoskis.
say Benson's first name correctly, Brittany.
Oh, Coyce.
Yeah, because it's not young.
Jagger.
Freaking Jagger, you psychos. No, but that Coyle. What's his name? What's his name?
Coyce. Right?
Coyle.
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 Okay, that's
Coyle.
what I thought. Dude, that
He's
kid
quoted.
lights it up.
Like Charlie Coyle, dude.
When
Wait, is he committed? Like, no.
Not yet. He will.
Not yet. All right, college coaches, get on this kid.
I've heard he's fast. Jim McCabe has
Did
said.
you go look at
he's
the
lightning.
third
Top
top
plays
play?
of the week. Come on,
Little
folks.
scouting
Like,
report from
oh,
Joe
No,
Slice.
the kid just like he's side by side with somebody else, and then he just starts skating, and it's like, okay, bye. Like, just leaves him in the dust.
Okay, bye.
So he
Yeah,
hit the
well,
turbo
younger.
button, turbo button, turbo button,
Yes.
turbo button. It's like
Nitro times 10.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he just like
He's legit.
skirted away. And he was
Need
like,
for
"Skirt."
speed, huh?
That was
He
from
is
this past
legit.
week. I missed that.
That was from this past week, yes.
That was what was posted today. So if
Today,
you miss it, you
I was
don't have
very
to
busy
skip.
today.
Yeah, I actually
I'm
posted it
sure you
yesterday,
were. Other
so-
people. Oh, listen, I can't remember the days of the week at this point. Like truly.
Someone,
Wait, did he
Nobody
score
can.
today? Hold on, let me
so
check.
someone did have to point out to me,
No, I don't think he did.
Neil,
No, he didn't.
could you be more selfish giving your call the number 1 and number 2 plays of the week?
Wait, who
Wait,
said that?
who
Because
said
that's
this?
mad funny.
Cody posted me pretty good about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
did
Cody,
Minwoo
that's your
Song
best
make it in?
friend, brother. Did who?
Did Minwoo Song's goal make it in? My boy
No.
Minwoo?
No.
Oh, that was a
No.
nice one. That's too
Yes.
bad.
But I was
All right,
like,
Minwoo, we'll get you
I,
up there.
I didn't do it intentionally. The Terse goal and the Raduzzi save were legit. Like,
I don't know. I would have put Doozy at 3, but that's just me.
and what would have been 2?
I don't know.
Something Rangers, obviously. Like, why?
Oh,
would
Oh,
you
they
ask
weren't
that
even in it.
question?
They weren't even in it this week. They stayed low key. They'll be in it next week though. I already get the goal picked out anymore. How are you?
Actually, you know what would have been a low-key awesome top play? When Bennett Young's BioSteel water bottle got knocked off the net. I'm not even kidding. You can go back in the tape and watch this, and it just goes shh, and skates right across the ice like it was like a planned promo. And I was like, and BioSteel, folks, don't forget to go on the BioSteel.
The
Putting your eShop promo code.
BioSteel power play goal.
I was like, that almost looked planned, like it was something on a commercial with it. They just knocked it right off and just went skated right by the camera.
That's funny.
Kyle,
Do
did
you
your-
know that the sorry?
Did your BioSteel arrive, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yes, you know what? I
You
had it for
did.
the first time today. It was awesome. And I was
Snapchatted
actually
me the
surprised by the
blueberry.
amount of products I received. And can we confirm? So the BioSteel went to the Raven household,
No.
Oh, it's a
to
Framingham.
the Hart
the
household,
Heartless. The
It went
Heartless
to-
the Raven
apartment.
household to a rink to New Jersey. Like, I mean, this thing's been all over the globe.
Here's what I will say to Brittany.
What?
The post office is quick. You
Dude.
walk in, you
Well,
No,
slap
around
I
a-
Christmas
disagree.
it wasn't
I
so
actually
quick,
disagree with
but-
that. The post office is not quick.
Miss Girl is lazy.
All right, so-
I spent 20. I won't get into this. I
I'm
Oh, wait,
just
didn't
asking
you
a
no,
question.
Brittany
I
admitted
spent
it last week.
25
Brittany,
minutes
I'm not
at
pointing
the
the fingers. I'm just
stupid-
asking a question. What happened?
Yeah, Brittany
I'm too
admitted
lazy.
was that last week's
2
episode
weeks
where she
ago.
admitted she was like, yeah, so I was at the post office today, and then me and
Dude,
Neil
I
looked
go
up there,
to
I was
the
like,
post office
wait,
like every.
You were at the
like,
post office, and you have Neil, and you
Yes.
have
Neil was
Yes.
like,
You
long
can't
story
mail it
short,
away?
I just got my BioSteel yesterday.
right,
That's
because
the point.
I am fake.
Kyle,
I'm
what'd you
fake,
try?
and
The
I'll eat
blueberry?
that one.
Blueberry's good, right? I saw the Snapchat you sent.
Anyway,
me.
Neil,
That-
yeah, so
the
what did you
blue
want to
raz
say?
was fire.
Neil.
Yeah,
Blue
what
raz,
the
so
hell?
good.
No,
I had
that's
two
what I
of
wanted
those
to.
today.
That's what I wanted to say
Two
about
scoops.
BioSteel. I wanted to make sure that you got it after all that time, and
Yeah.
I wanted to
Got
point
it
out to
yesterday,
Brittany.
yes. And
I was in and out of that post office that day in about 3 minutes.
Okay, the
But I'm
post
curious, where
office
did
in
it
Needham,
went from Canada
Massachusetts sucks.
to where? It definitely went to like 4 different places, and then eventually ended up on the Jersey Shore in
Well-
87's Protect territory.
to Brittany's credit, I would say that the New Hampshire post offices are a little
lot
less
better.
populated than the
Yes.
Massachusetts post offices.
I was just
I
gonna say a
spent
lot
so
less
much
traffic in
time.
those.
I hate the post office in the whatever. The woman
Well,
at the
long story short,
Massachusetts
yes, I got my
post
bio
office
seal. I
is
love it. I
rude.
highly support it.
Yes, great.
Blue Raz Fire.
I did. Yeah, it was good.
Anyways,
It's cool.
Up
who else
north,
can we? Who else can we? Up north, we already talked about them.
Oh, you
people.
like that? No, we talked about the South. I like that.
Yeah,
Neil.
but
You
Neil
switched it
started
this
with,
week. You
like,
started with the South, and then we're going to the
North.
North. Good
Yes.
job.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
in the north, the Avalanche are rolling.
not
period.
really.
No, I don't even know.
They're
Not really. They lost the
skittering.
game. They lost the game to Seacoast.
Oh
They
my
then-
god, that we haven't recorded since we were at Exeter.
No, we
Exit
did.
here.
I'm just talking through it. They
I
lost
was
that
gonna
game
say,
to
that was
Seacoast.
so last week.
They lost that game to
Ugh.
Seacoast, and then they beat the Lumberjacks the next day. And then
Okay.
we recorded that Wednesday, and then they lost to the Lumberjacks the day after that. And then
Wait,
that was that Thursday that we went. That I
Yeah,
went to Waterville.
It's
No, I
chaos
was
in the North.
It was
Chaos.
it was in
Wild.
Iceden. And then on the Friday, they were actually losing to the Lumberjacks in the third period of that game, 3-2. It would have been their second loss in a row and 3 out of 4. But they scored a couple goals. They scored a goal late from Matt Carlson to tie it, and then I think Blaney
News
had
Wilkes commit. What's up?
yes for 2022. He's already coming
Right.
back to the Avalanche next season. That's scary.
Wow.
Like that's scary. And
I
then
hope Parker Sondag
Blaney
comes
had
back.
Blaney had the game winner, and they had
Sondag?
an empty netter as well. But I'm just that division, like I was saying before, whenever they face the Avalanche get the best effort from each one of those 3 teams. Look at the Wolves. Look at Seacoast. Look at
They are our most recent champion,
yes.
contrary to whatever. else
Technically,
says.
contrary.
You know what?
They-
You know what's insane? You know they still have the trophy.
Oh boy.
Oh, Susan won't let you. Yeah, Susan says, not
Yeah.
leaving my house.
She was like,
Yeah,
you know,
we weren't happy about that at the Revolution. I mean, we deserved it. So
she was like,
Yeah, us people at BJR at Bic also would like
so
it.
Susan Accordo is the lady that like runs things with Mario at the ice then, right? And she's like, so if things open up the way that we want them to, we can just host the finals here.
What?
I was like, I hate to burst your bubble, Susan, but I can't imagine. Or here, I'll tell you how the votes would go for that in the league. It'd probably be about 1-17 because the Avalanche would vote yes, and then everyone else would be like, no
Nope.
way.
yeah,
I don't keep doing that.
Literally, no.
So, but I appreciate the effort. Of course I do, right? I mean, look at the NFL, right? I was talking with Vicky about this all last week because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now play a home Super Bowl. But that's the first time it's ever happened in now 55 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll prefer the neutral site for ours, and we'll head down to Pennsylvania at the end of March.
Oh my God, get up, Westchester, get up, Lemon Shovels, get up, everyone.
Nothing
welcome.
else? No, nothing else to get up, but that's it.
Was
Get
a lot
up,
of
Jerry
get-ups.
Domish. Get up, Jerry Domish.
Get up,
Get
Jerry
up,
Domish.
get up,
Oh,
John
is Jerry gonna make an
Roger.
appearance? Yeah,
I
Droger.
will.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well-
if I see John Roger, I will scream bloody murder and like cry tears of joy because I love that man.
Yeah, he's a
lot
good
of-
guy. Really
He's
lot
good
the
guy.
GOAT. He is
He's a
the
good
GOAT. Also,
Oh,
I
Rose.
feel like we talked, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or if it was like a side conversation, but whatever. According to ALO, we need at the finals in Westchester, PA, need to induct Jerry Domish into the E-Show Hall of Fame.
Keep in mind,
Okay.
the Hall of
Wait,
Fame
you're
that
talking
doesn't
about there's
exist.
an EHL Hall of Fame?
No, it doesn't exist. He wants me to
I was
create.
I was about to say, I was
he
like,
wants
Jerry's
me
Jerry's
to-
the first
here,
guy.
he wants me to create the Hall of Fame and induct him in
Okay.
as the first inductee. And I was like,
Perfect.
Right,
I like
as we're
that.
at Westchester, like,
I'm in.
like sick plan.
Once
get-
the
we can get
EHL is
Kumps in
established
there.
for 10 years, then you have a Hall of Fame.
We got to put Kumple in there too.
Neil,
God.
10 years? Yes. Sure.
yes. I
Ring
mean,
of Honor?
Hall of
You
Fame
mean
is
at a Hall of
right?
Fame? I mean, that's a little, no offense, coaches and people out there. That's a little much, but Ring of Honor?
Retired numbers too. Can we do
Oh
that?
God.
We don't
Wait,
need
for
that.
teams?
No, I don't know.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
just
okay.
we're just talking out loud, right? I mean, I think retired numbers are funny. Like if you look at the Boston Celtics, right? I think every single digit number is retired or something crazy like that. Like the Boston Celtics have a ridiculous.
Is that why, like,
number.
Shaq wore, like, number 42 when he was on the
Yes.
Celtics for, like,
Still-
2 games?
Still
Basically.
the the one regret that I'll hold forever, Kyle, is never buying a "Welcome to Shakachusetts" T-shirt. I will kick myself forever for that one.
I have a Shaq Magic jersey
That
from
sounds
back
like
in the day.
That sounds like a
Actually pretty
Neil
cool.
a
bad.
Neil Raven at Quinnipiac attire.
Definitely Justin's thing.
Shakachusetts, baby.
Oh my god.
Maybe we'll consider all
That
things.
sounds like a time up.
all things discussed. Retired numbers, Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame.
You name it.
Bring it all up.
You name
Bring
it.
it up for vote.
We'll consider it.
Or a
We'll-
governor's meeting right now.
Oh boy, Neil's about to get 1,000 emails tomorrow. Oh yeah, can I nominate myself? Like,
Yes.
or like
Oh
one
my
of the coaches'
god, speaking
wives.
of
Yeah.
nominating themselves.
That would be fun. We
Who
could think
would
about all
nominate
the
themselves?
old players from like back
Every
when
coach
school
ever.
started.
No, Neil, who would nominate themselves into a Hall of Fame? It already happened.
We're gonna skip that.
Is that for the off-air
yeah,
show?
we're definitely gonna skip that. So
Sorry.
with that,
Listen, no one said that it was.
no,
whatever.
we're going down a bad rabbit hole with that one. So we're gonna move our way over to what to
Okay.
watch for, which includes the fantasy.
Before we wrap things up, here's what to watch for this week in the E-Show.
And folks, it is time for the eCrew Fantasy Challenge. Brought to you by Bertucci's Brick Oven Pizza and Pasta, your home for authentic Italian dishes, catering, and group dining. Check out their party pizzas and specials at bertuccis.com.
So this past week was the second to last week of the full expanded rosters.
Wait, for real?
Dude, I
Yes,
think
the-
I'm ready for this to be done. I think I'm
Yes.
sensing my frustration now.
Yeah, so the day this
My
drops,
team's petering out.
the day this drops on the 28th to next Wednesday the 3rd, that's it for 12-8-3.
Okay, then we cut it down to what?
Good. Then we can decimate Brittany's team into shreds.
6-4-2.
Yeah, see ya later, gentlemen.
So what I have to ask first, for what is
first?
first?
Ooh,
First,
I'm
what
first.
is that a word? So
My
It is now, buddy.
do we need to have what we typically have, and that's a Zoom outside
Yes.
of our recording time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
So
Epic event.
let's go team by team, and I'll give the overall totals first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong graphic again. Did
Dude,
Justin-
everyone's setting.
Justin's screwing with us.
Yeah.
Just look at your spreadsheet. Your spreadsheet is
Accurate.
I got it now.
excellent
Okay,
and
they got-
accurate.
So Brittany is in first place with, oh my God,
Old news.
780
800
points.
Yeah. she's
Is
getting up there.
that good?
Okay.
And you know what?
anyways,
She got a lot of points from non-Rangers last week. I looked through it before our show today, and I was like, okay, George
Yes,
Wiener.
sir.
Wiener had a
Yes,
huge
sir.
week.
So-
LaChance.
I think a George Wiener commits coming soon, but like that's some info that
LaChance
I
was a
will
very
not
good
share.
pick for you too.
can
by the
I
way.
tell where everybody else is on the standings?
Wait. Side note. I'm sorry. I have a random question.
Hmm.
According to my source, Tiger, I almost said Tigger. my
Oh,
God,
Tiger Bjornlund?
is going back to Wesleyan, and tomorrow's his last game with TMD. Does that mean Jake LaChance's last game with PJR is? I need to text Rich.
It may be.
Oh my god, I'm
Uh-oh.
looking scared. No, I don't.
There's a number of Division III programs that are going to start
Coming back in the spring, you mean?
trying to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah,
the
it's like football
NESCAC
too,
already
though.
wrote everything off.
Division III, I think in general, is trying to start in the spring. Like no matter the
The
sport. or anything.
NESCAC is interesting because I don't want to go too far into it, but there's a few schools that may try and work together to have non-league games. Put a lot of
Uh-oh.
quotes around that if you want to.
Okay.
So you may be losing a defenseman there, Brittany.
Well, I just asked Rich,
Uh-oh.
so I'm sure I'll get a
So-
response.
His name
in
is
25
Tiger, by the way.
seconds. I know. I just called him Tigger
Tigger.
because I am. Oh, is LaChance leaving BJR? No, why? Just
I
kidding.
picked him at some point last year.
Yeah,
our
tomorrow.
EHL
He's leaving.
Infancy.
No other
Tiger
ones.
Bjornlund.
But to go down the rest of what we have for points, because there's 4 of us competing in this, not just Brittany. I have 722.2, Jeff at 701.4,
Neil, you're
Kyle's-
now in second place. Congratulations.
Kyle at 604.8. This past week, Brittany 135.2, Myself,
He thought she had a bad week. Oof.
myself 128.8, Kyle 108.6, and Jeff 86.6. So let's start.
That's a bad
Jeff.
week.
Let's start breaking down.
Bad week.
Let's start breaking down Jeff's week because I think what's
not.
hurt a little bit is Chris Aarons hasn't played a game yet, but he's back this week for you.
Come on, Chris.
He's committed to Beatport.
Which will be interesting for you because say he goes off, now you get a very interesting debate in your head because this cutting down from 12-8-4 to 6-4-2
It's gonna be stressful.
is going to be very hard.
Yep.
And I encourage you to start thinking about it over the weekend because it's not going to be easy. And
I will do that. The rest of you don't do it.
yes, I know one guy that you're going to keep that hasn't played because of a recent shutdown for his team is Donnie Feldman.
Oh, absolutely.
You're definitely keeping him.
Feld's staying. Ferda.
And just to go
So
over
good.
some of the points from this past week, it really wasn't a bad week. You look at Ryan Bailey, 8 points, Davis Bone, 7 points, Andrew Stafura, 9, Jason Wiskowski, 9, Colin Callanan, 7. What's funny about those 7
Him and
points,
Wiskowski just started back up.
those 7 points for Callanan, Jeff, none of them were recorded live. Those were all stat changes that came in afterwards. They were like, they missed this, they missed this, they missed this. And I was like, here's Jeff's points. Here's
The
Jeff's
MVP
points.
in my heart, Mike Lasazara. Thank you, sir.
Oh my God, Triple Z.
I owe you a pizza.
Mark Aline got you 10
Something.
points. Marcus Cook got you 11 points.
Yep.
There was only one start in. I think one thing that you have to remember is there was only one start in there for you for George McMichael, and he lost that start. So that's why, the goalies are so big in this, right? I know it kind of goes without saying, but a win versus a loss is automatically 4 points. Take away a goal or two, now you're looking at 5-6 points, and if it's a top team, you're looking at bonus points at that point. So it goes without saying that I think you still may have the best goalie combination.
Oh, for sure, Jeff does.
Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
for sure.
Yes. And obviously we believe that you're going to go with McMichael and Mason Palmer. I think that's the only lock of all the 6-4-2 combinations that there are. I think the only lock is we know Jeff's 2 goalies.
I'm sorry, Jakob. I love you, buddy. I haven't met you, but you've done well, sir. When I've had to call on you, but
Yes.
I had to call on you.
In the month of January, you haven't played one game. So Jeff
He's literally
I
on
noticed that's what I do. I was
IR.
like,
He's literally written on the PLF locker room whiteboard as injured reserve, which I found that out today. So no one come at my throat because I literally just found out. Look, I'll show you.
wait,
Please
time
hold.
out. So how have I not been able to?
I just found this out today. Yo, everyone relax. Hold on.
Side note, Neil, did you get a haircut too? You got a little
Look.
fresh haircut.
He's
No.
not been
Look,
back to me.
Look, everyone look at my screen for Christ's sake.
Dude, wait. So
IR.
how long has he been out
Wednesday,
for?
baby.
Whiteboard, I don't know. I just saw this today.
Why haven't I been able to pick a new goalie?
I don't know. Who else would you pick though? That's my question.
Yeah. But some points would be better than no points.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, according to this whiteboard, right?
Wizzies are hot. The Spartans are hot. Options are out there.
I gotta get tighter with Alo, I guess, and get his numbers so me and him can, he can brief me on these important items.
Sorry, I just found this out today. So
I know I could pick Bennett Young. He's looked good. Yost.
true. I'd pick him if I was you.
I liked
Should
what I
start
saw
doing
the
this
other day.
podcast at 6 a.m. What do you guys think? Like 6 a.m. morning show?
We used,
I was
we recorded
literally
this in the morning when we
crying.
first started. Remember we used to do like 9 a.m., 8 a.m.?
Oh yeah, back when I didn't work a full time job. Me too.
This would be a good morning show. Let's get a little talk show.
We could have coffee instead of beers.
We'll have to figure out
And
some
seltzers.
way to do like a Facebook live or Instagram live something from the
Ooh.
finals.
Yes, we have to.
That's what we're trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to do. But I like I said, I think for Jeff, his 6-4-2 trim down, we know Donnie Feldman, we know George McMichael, and we know Mason Palmer.
Yep.
I would imagine a Stafura is in there, maybe a
Yeah.
Davis Bone or Ryan Bailey. But
Talked
it
to
gets
Steph the other day. I thanked him personally in person
Oh,
for his
isn't
points.
he
was like,
great?
"Oh, you're welcome, man." Yeah, he was a
Isn't
nice
he a
kid.
great kid?
Very nice kid.
but like
Nice.
just to list
Yeah.
off the
Yeah,
ones that
Bones
probably-
been rattling him off.
yeah, the guys that have been performing the best for you recently, right? Like the Feldman, Bailey, Bones, Stafura,
gotta go
Sondag,
Bailey.
Mark Aline. Now you're
Yep.
already at 6 or over 6, right? You haven't even talked about Jason Ruskowski, who I just mentioned is going to play 14 games. in February. But remember what I've been saying to you guys is you have to factor in you're going to trim down again to just 3, and those are your 3 going into the playoffs. And when their team gets knocked out or advances, like that's your team. Like you can't add anybody else. So this, like I said, study this over the weekend because you got to really think ahead with this stuff.
And we all got some skin in the game, you know. We did those little side, you know.
Bernie looks very cocky on her cell phone, like, yeah, I'm good. Like,
I
I'm up by 900 points. Killing it.
With Kyle's team. With Kyle's team, as I mentioned, 108.6 this past week. Nick Swain got 15. And I know Brittany already mentioned Andy Moore has a top play for next week. So does Nick Swain. Have you seen this goal from today?
Nope.
Oh my God.
It's a beaut.
Well, obviously I did. I
saw Kyle's text about it, but excuse me, haven't seen the video yet. But well done. Look at you, Kyle. 108 points. Climbing back up slowly but surely.
And what I needed to point out first, I said Swain with the 15. And when Kyle picked Sam Mitchell, a couple of us were like, has he put up that many points this year?
I had no idea who that even was.
He got him 12 points in fantasy this past week.
Yeah. No, I know. I brought that up.
And Dylan Gutierrez got him 10. All 3 of his goalies played, but like I mentioned, if you flip a couple of wins around for a Peyton Duran, which was against the Rangers, that would have been even bonus points there.
2 games against the Rangers too. Played strong.
Yeah, Adam Foss, and obviously Bernard split his games with Maryland. You're looking at another, 10, 20 points or something like that. It's a huge swing, and we've seen how fast this thing can turn around. With my roster,
you had a heck of a week.
Well, yeah. Raduzzi helped me out on the very first day with that big win over the Avalanche that got me, I want to say, like 11 or so points with the bonus points, right? And when I go review every box score, I have to go down each player to see what that player got for stats and then add them in that way. So when I added in the 4 games from today, the last game I got to was the Rangers, right? So I'm going through the spreadsheet and I'm like, sweet, look at my total, 128.8. Like I feel pretty good. Like I had the most points of the 4 of us. And then I got to pick apart 2 assists for this guy, an assist for this guy, and a goal for this guy. I'm like, how is she passing me? Like, how is she passing me? And then it's not even just pass. It's like, oh, okay, she's already passed me. I haven't even factored in the goalie win yet. So anyways, while I thought I was going to win the week, Brittany did win the week. We'll get to her points in a second because I do have to harp on 2 more guys for myself.
Who?
And it's not Patricia.
Good.
The first one is obviously Zach Simon because he's just so
Well,
Zach Simon's dad.
Now, so
I want to put razor blades through my eyebrows and other pieces of skin, thinking that we all could have had Zach Simon, and we just
for real. Like, oh god.
Well, he's got 2 first names, so
yes. Who currently is tied for the league lead in points.
He is. Oh my god, go off, King.
Yeah, with Yasuda. And I actually have the player that's 3rd in the league in points also.
And relax, sit down.
And what? What'd you say?
I said, oh my god, relax, sit down.
Oh, okay. I will get up. I will get up instead. Anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Dante Terramani probably will be the January 4th.
Oh wait, we're talking about Roy?
Yes.
Oh, I love Roy. Roy is Dante Terramani for anyone who doesn't know because he was Rookie of the Year, a.k.a. Roy.
He's been
Isn't that good?
Dynamite.
Okay.
Wait, you know what else was dynamite? Roy's Insta yesterday. I said it in the group chat, but Kyle, I don't think you responded, but like it's fine. No, Roy put up the most my god, that thing is
that thing.
Yeah. Beauty.
Alyssa made that, the queen.
Little body, big head.
So you gave away your crown, huh, Britt?
Oh my god.
Yes. Look at what she does.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's
awesome.
But Kyle, I know you saw Terramani play this past week. Like, I don't. The MVP is going to be interesting this year because these teams haven't really seen everybody.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like last year, we had problems with people voting, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen this person." It's like, "Oh God, now you really haven't seen this person."
And what's been told to me a little bit is that obviously each division can pick their all conference within their division, but maybe the league staff has to pick the main award.
Oh my God, this is iconic.
Sorry, I missed that. All honesty, I'm not kidding.
They were saying that maybe in for each division, the North can select their first team and their second team, and the Central can select theirs. But for like the all EHL team and the MVP, the forward of the year, defenseman of the year, maybe the league staff has to pick that. And I was like, really?
Oh my God, get us all on a Zoom call. Fire me.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
let's do it. I'm in.
Oh my God, dude, we're going to be screaming and having like 17 brawls over that stuff.
So here's, I mean, I don't know if that's how it's going to play out. We'll see. But the question is, can Dante Terramani go from winning Rookie of the Year last year to Most Valuable Player this year?
Oh my God, that would be so cute.
Yes.
Kyle with an immediate yes. Go on.
I saw him play Roy, how cute. 2 months ago at the Jersey Shore Arena. I've watched him play on TV, and just the amount of progression he's made on the ice is undescribable, phenomenal. And when I saw him play on Sunday night, this is an NHL comparison to an EHL ratio. Bear with me here. I'm not saying this guy's going to get drafted number 1 overall in the NHL. Relax, coaches.
Sit down.
I know some of your players are the best things in the world. Your son is the best player in the world. I get it. But Dante Terramani, from October to now, the best player I've seen in person in the AHL. And he is Sidney Crosby-like, and I mean that. He was
listen up, brother.
He was all over the ice on Sunday. He's two-way. He can do a backhanded pass. The way he finds time and space on the ice is why he got 2 goals in less than 2 periods on Sunday night against ProTech. Very impressed. And I know you guys know better than I, as Brittany's on her cell phone and taking snappies and selfies and not listening to me.
We're saying you were just compared to Sidney Crosby on the podcast.
Yes, he is. For the EHL, he is Sidney Crosby-like, and I mean that. Very impressive. So work with me here, people.
Nope.
That's my prediction.
You said 2 goals.
The 87s, they're deep. They're good. But for some reason, there's other teams that don't give, quote unquote, the South credit. Yep. This gentleman deserves credit. And what I saw on Sunday night and what I've seen in the last month is an MVP-like caliber player. So if you would like to challenge me, don't text me, call me, show up at the rink, and let's discuss this.
Okay, in all seriousness, I feel like I can name their first 2 lines, but he changes. He isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, Maddie and Adam change out the 3rd and 4th line all the time, and I'm like, I don't even know who your 3rd and 4th line is, to be honest.
Talking about progression in 2 months, Rookie of the Year, and he's in the discussion. He should be. It's up to anyone, whatever, you guys and the rest, for MVP, in my opinion.
He has 11 points in 6 games so far.
Wow, he took over the game. And it's not just him just scoring. It's him playing both ways. It's him playing center.
Yep.
And I'm sure, Brittany, you could probably back me up too. You've seen him play. He's that good. To improve over that short period of time isn't this what this league is about, is development?
And during this past year too.
Forward of the month.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good point too. This year was the hardest of all, obstacles, right? You had
and he overcame a serious injury.
Right. On top of that, yeah. And ice was shut down for a while. People couldn't get in gyms and rinks and stuff, and you're still able to get better.
Especially because he lives in California.
Yep.
Oh, he's in Wiggle Combat territory.
Oh god.
I gotta say Wiggle's name at once.
You know what I like about my top 2 scorers and him and Zach Simon?
Oh boy.
5'9" and 5'8". They're my height.
Hey, baby.
Sidney Crosby.
Simon's up there too. Simon,
he's square to the ice. The way he skates. I mean, he's not Ovechkin. He's not Connor McDavid. He's
Sidney Crosby.
I will say this though. A top 5.
I know people are laughing at me, but if you give an NHL comparison to Dante Terramani, the way he skates, the way he puck handles, the way he enters the zone, I'm telling you, like he's Sidney Crosby. Like
I will
If we
say
did
this,
do
Kyle.
like a top 5
Yeah.
for MVP. Who would you get
Yeah.
for top 5?
I'll when we
We
log
save
off.
that for another.
When we log off, I'll show you
All right.
kind of how I've done it in the past. But
Okay.
Kyle, he's got two goal games in January. Would have loved for one of those to turn into a hat trick, but
Sorry.
hat tricks
No.
Bonus
do
points.
not result in bonus points.
Right, as we discussed.
So
Yeah,
do we need to talk about all of Brittany's Rangers points, or can we?
No, I don't even know who scored my points. Can
This
I just
was
get, like, a
Brittany's
quick
week.
run
The
through?
Rangers scored. And
Well,
that's the
okay.
wrap.
Let's talk about the non-Rangers.
Can you talk about my low key?
Yeah,
I know
'cause-
that I got Papa points up the
Yes.
wazoo.
I had to broadcast a couple of those the other day,
Papa?
and it hurt me. I was
Yeah,
like,
Zachary
"What is
Papa
that?"
Petros.
when you say Papa, I'm thinking of Mikey, like when you call me Big Jim Papa.
No, that should
No,
be Zach.
it's,
Ray
I don't
Rose,
think
like,
no one
Papa.
calls him
Goals.
Papa, but like the Wizards kids called Papa Petros Papa. Like I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone call him Zachary unless like he's getting screamed at. But even
Zach-
that,
His
like,
like mother or something.
yeah,
I guess for
his
GM
mom's
Papa, they can call him like G Papa, but
they just call him Mikey G.
Yeah, they call him
Papa.
Mikey, right?
It's Mikey G. That's it. Period.
But for Brittany's
I call him
points,
GM Papa.
yes.
It's okay.
For Brittany's points, we have to acknowledge that Yasuda got her 11, non-Ranger 87, tied with Zach Simon for the league lead in points.
Paul Feinlees.
Feinlees got her 11, not a Ranger, lumberjack.
We all helped her out with that one.
Yes.
Shut up.
George Wiener, 14 points, not a Ranger, 87. Papa Petros with the 9 points. And then obviously we have to also then touch on her Rangers points. 12 for Nathan Young, 13 for Andy.
Yo,
And
Nathan
for
Young,
Connor
Brits commits next week. Committed to
100%.
Elmira. Let's go.
It's amazing. So just so everyone knows, this
Shouldn't
week,
be allowed. This
this
should be
week,
banned. That's
we were
ridiculous.
teasing it. We were teasing it well. It's Halen Cookston this week, but we just totally gave away next week's Brits commits.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I am the most excited for this commit. This is my, oh my God. I just feel like a proud mother.
Oh God.
Like a proud mom. It's me and Younger. Oh my goodness. I just can't wait. Anyway, sorry.
All right, so we'll
Next.
scratch that one for next week and make it another week when we can just do like
No.
We'll still have them, just maybe make it another week. Push it
No,
back.
thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, so
Okay,
Halen's
keep
my
the
favorite
fans
this week.
guessing, Britt. Keep them guessing, kid.
Oh, we already explained.
No.
So yeah,
No
my
guessing.
Brits
All
commits
right.
this week is Halen Cookston, Benny Petrangelo. How you doing, bud? Hope you're good. It's the head coach
Indeed.
at Arcadia, my guy.
So
Sorry.
as we start to shift our way towards the roster trim, for those that are curious, Brittany has 5 Rangers forwards, 2 Rangers defensemen, and 2 Rangers goaltenders.
So she could keep all ranges.
Yes, so she would have
No,
to add,
I know
she'd
that
have
my
to add-
defensemen are gonna change up, and I guarantee you guys can. How many do I get?
2. Oh, you get 4.
4-2.
Okay, so I know who 3 of my 4 are already. I guarantee you can all guess who my 3 of 4 are gonna be.
Latvala?
No.
No.
She's gonna
Papa,
go.
Jack, George are my 3. I don't know who the 4th one's gonna be.
Papa Jack George.
Very beautiful, Jeff.
Sounds like some
That was
classic
good,
rock
that was
song.
good.
Whatever
like-
happened to Benny and the Jets?
Yeah.
No, it's Jimmy and the Jacks.
Jimmy and the Jacks.
wait,
There.
Jimmy and the Jets.
No, Jimmy and the Jacks
Every
right now.
time I hear
can
that song
kick
down
it.
the radio, I'm like, oh, there you go, already.
You gotta play
The
shit
one
note,
thing
too.
that I will say is scary about Brittany's team going into this final week of the month is just like Jeff and Donnie Fellman, you have Brittany and Ricard Jelinski's.
Oh, I forget he exists
I wish I
sometimes because they haven't
grabbed
played in mad long.
Damn it.
So it's
Darth Vader
I
music.
cannot wait to see what you try and do with your forwards, because even though I told you to look at it over the weekend, on Monday night when we get on to talk about this, you're gonna be like, oh my God, what do I do?
No, I already I wish I could pick these 3, but that'd be really bad if I picked these 3 that are in my head. Because then we would really just scream, get a pick. But how can you not pick these 3?
Well, you have to pick 6.
yikes.
You have to pick 6.
Oh my God, great. So my 3 will be Amore, J-More, and Younger. Those are 3 of them.
More young.
more Young. Dude, how can you not pick Amore, J-More, Younger?
Have you
Yeah,
gotten in a car accident recently?
I would be
More
a
young.
literal moron not to. I'm a lot of things, but moron is only sometimes
Neil,
one. And right
just
now
a quick
it ain't.
question, Neil.
You got a plethora
And
of talent.
we don't need to answer this now on the podcast. Which fantasy team has the most diverse lineup in the sense of who has the most players from different teams?
Obviously, it is mine. No secret there. It's me.
Just out of curiosity, and maybe that's a bonus point thing. Like,
No, thank you.
Yeah, when
No,
you-
thank you. Talk to me when you guys are in first place. I'll beat you.
almost pick a player from every team in the league compared to half your team is one team. That should be.
Talk to me when you're in first place.
And I would like to challenge the people because I know I'm going to be outvoted on this because Brittany, look, you're the queen. I get it.
Yeah, and I am literally kicking everyone's ass.
I'll admit it. But if we go over Twitter right now and say, what is a better option? What is more fair? Kyle McKenna picking players from just about every team in fantasy, or Brittany Hart picking half her team from one team?
I'm in it to win it. I'm not
Yes
in
or
this
no?
fantasy BS
What's
to
fair?
lose.
Neil
I'm
Ravin,
not in this
I'm
to
putting you on the
lose.
spot.
No, ma'am. I don't
So-
lose. I pick who you got to pick to win, boys.
When we started this last year, Neil was very big on switching guys weekly
Yes,
he
to get
was.
different teams. So I would lean towards him having the most diverse of all of us. But
He's looking right now. I can tell.
I just counted, I think, 10 for me and 10 for Kyle.
Oof.
okay, look at that.
So, but with that, let's enjoy the last week of the full expanded rosters.
Right.
And I
seriously.
cannot wait to see how you guys trim these things down because it's not easy. It's really not easy.
Stay
And
tuned, folks.
The
Get
second
up,
you trim
Vic.
one player off,
Rama.
the second you trim one player off, he's going to go off the next.
Yeah,
week.
he'll
No
climb
way.
down on you right to AG double hockey stick.
Oh
What
my
happens?
god.
Might be
It's
a
making
quarter
me
of the night
pay.
right there, Jeff.
Sorry,
So-
Clendenin.
With that, enjoy this week's games. We'll talk to you twice next week, once to trim down the rosters and once to recap what happened.
Heck yeah, let's do
Au
it.
revoir, folks. Bring it. I'd like to see what you got.
See you, crew.
See you at the rink.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.